We are live from Nubian Human in the Anacostia Arts Center in historic Anacostia, Southeast Washington, D.C., and this is the Neighborish livecast. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Super Dave, a.k.a. Mr. Incredible, and with me, as always, is one of the dopest individuals that I know, the SC3 representative, DC's native son.
That's right.
He got the single popping right now.
I got a lot of singles popping.
What's the name of the mixtape?
A treasure rap tape.
A treasure rap tape.
It's popping.
Give him 616s off of there real quick.
Nope. 616s.
Right.
God damn.
Jason, what's up, brother?
What's up, man?
1 hour later.
Yeah,
right.
Well, you know, hey, look, I had some technical difficulties and we had some punctuality difficulties, which will remain nameless. But we got a great show for y'all today, man. Yeah, we got a lot going on. It's a lot going on that we got to talk about. But first of all, I want to introduce our guest today. You can see today's guest. See, I always crack when you can see. Anyway, you can see today's guest headlining the Native Tongue Open Mic this Friday, July 31st, right here in Nubian Human.
Yeah.
Now watch what I did for you. His velvety, smooth vocals have been intriguing and captivating audiences as long as I've known him. He's a singer, songwriter, producer, fitness trainer, which I didn't know till I just looked at your page, did some research, and a new father.
Yes, I am a new father.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jacob Soul is with us today, and we're so glad to have him with us. We got a lot to talk about. I was talking to, we had Aaron, the doula, on here a couple of weeks ago, and I was talking about how that whole process of parenthood, of childbirthing, is so intriguing and interesting. So we're gonna talk about some of that. We're gonna talk about the music. We're gonna talk about a lot of stuff. But it's as always, there's a lot of things going on in the city, in the country, in the world that we need to talk about.
What's going on, Dave?
And we're gonna talk about it right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've been starting out for the last couple of months talking about the coronavirus. I've had trying to give statistics and keep people up to date on what's going on. To date, DC has 11,780 cases and 581 deaths. The United States has 4,031,000 cases, and worldwide there's 16 million cases. And so it's a lot. Those numbers are kind of staggering. On the flip side of it, though, a lot of people are recovering. There's a lot of deaths, but the numbers relative to the amount that's recovering is not as much. So, and that's a good sign. Even though we're having peaks right now, the virus has been surging in different places, different locations, and so there's still ongoing battles over, whether to wear masks, whether to, stay in social distancing. And right now they're talking about shutting everything back down just because the current situation has gotten so bad in certain places. It's interesting that while government officials are looking at shutting stuff down, there's still people who, in some of these, more specifically in some of these places where the numbers are peaking and surging, that are still protesting and trying to not have to wear masks, not have to social distance, things like that, and seem to be upset with the government officials who are making these decisions to kind of, in an effort to try to curtail the spread of this, deadly sickness. So I know that the virus in itself and like its effect on the country has affected all of us. But I mean, is there anything specific, any personal way that it's affected you guys, like that you've noticed that's really like, dang man, I wish this thing would hurry up and end. Like anything specific?
Well,
I'm gonna bring you in. Yeah, there you go, sir.
I know, it's been it's affected me personally. A few ways. Some negative and some positive. I feel bad for a lot of people that are being negatively affected, and that are just in a real hardship and that are finding it hard to make money and make ends meet, and you know this is a tough thing that we're going through right now.
Yeah,
Um, I've had I haven't had any personal family members personally that have had it or
that's a blessing. That's good.
have been sick, but like my son's mother have had a couple of people that passed. I know a couple of people that have also had people that have gotten sick and passed. So, it's tough. It's tough, man. On the other side, I've had more time now, probably I guess than ever, to really focus on kind of manifesting certain goals and giving certain things more interest.
Yeah.
So I definitely see there's been negative and positive ways personally that I've definitely been affected by it. So just taking it as it comes.
Definitely, yeah. And that's one thing. One of the positive spins on this whole situation is it's giving a lot of people the gift of time. And for some people time can be a burden. For some people time can be a gift, and some people it all depends on how you perceive it, how you take it, and how you use it. But like you said, you've been able to kind of sit down, and sometimes that's sitting still. Sometimes we move so much, and it's not moving toward necessarily a goal or anything. We just moving. So having the time to sit back and really think, like, where am I going? What am I? Just having that time to be introspective and focus on goals and refocus yourself. Is one of the I guess the silver linings you could take away from this dark cloud that's been over us. Yeah, I got all poetic just now. Y'all ain't noticed anyway. But Jay, you
I saw it too. I saw the cloud. Silver lining.
He's right there with me.
Man.
We try to get Jay there. I don't know if he's gonna. Anyway, but Jay, have you anything specific about the? I know you kind of. I don't know if it's really changed too much.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, man, and that's a blessing, like it, the whole situation hasn't really changed my lifestyle in a way, drastically. But very similar to what Soul was saying, man, I've definitely had a lot of time to reflect on things that I needed to address, just in my personal spiritual development.
Right.
Time to really assess things, evaluate, reevaluate things. But luckily, I haven't, I've heard of some people that I know that have passed from the virus, but to be completely honest, like in comparison, before the virus, I probably had more people that I know that was close to me pass away. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
That aspect of the whole situation, hasn't been drastically effective, towards me, like to my spirit or to like, how I move. But I'm definitely empathetic and understanding, to all of the people that are negatively affected by the whole thing. But we prayed up over here, man. We just believe we aligned with energy and a source that's gonna to keep us, good in whatever situation. And this is just one of those things where the Most High is standing strong.
Definitely. You all right?
Yeah. It's a gnat over here.
Okay.
Yeah, you
It's good.
Nah, okay. Sure it is. No, I'm just playing.
No.
I'm just messing with
hoping it bothers somebody else.
Right.
You tell what sure it is.
Yeah, Jay having a breakdown of it. No, I'm just playing. No, I saw the gnat.
I am.
But yeah, so over the past week, civil rights and social justice protests have continued in places like Portland, Oregon, as the president has deployed federal officers to Portland and other locations where protests have continued. And for me, this raises a question of the ultimate effectiveness of the protests for the goal that was being seeked, I guess, for lack of
Sought.
a better way. Sought.
H-U?
Yeah, sought. Thank you, seek. Hey, look, seeked is the
H-U?
word. It's the past tense. Seeked it. Anyway, but being sought. Yeah. So, but yeah, and because a lot of things have come about from the civil unrest. And another thing I noticed real quick, I just wanted to say,
What'd you notice,
in
Dave?
researching this, most media outlets say, the riots and the protests in the wake of the George Floyd's murder, and it was like a tipping off point, but I feel like it's really an effort to make it seem like everything was cool before that happened. Like that was niggas was like everything was sweet before he got killed, and that's not really. I mean, that's the culmination.
Well, and that's also the narrative that they trying to paint too.
Yeah,
they
definitely.
always
That's
trying
what
to
I'm saying.
paint everything is
Like,
cool.
why they tripping? One person
it ain't
get, but
never,
no, it's
it
not.
ain't never been cool.
It's never been sweet,
like ever.
right.
Like there hasn't been 1 second, in this land where shit was cool.
Right. And so with that being said, my question I'm gonna pose it to you. I know both of you are, have social justice and civil rights components to your aura, to your beings, and like I was saying about the effectiveness for the goal that was sought. Do you believe that? Because and the reason I pose that question is because looking at what's happening now, like in these different states where the fight has continued, where they haven't kind of dispersed and settled down and all this, and they still out there every day like, no, we want justice, and so now it's to the point where the president is I don't really like to talk about dude, but anyway, he's we're deploying federal, this is something that's unprecedented. It's technically supposed to be legal. Federal officers aren't really supposed to engage in things dealing with individual states. They're supposed to be handled by that. But it's more of a show of force. Okay, you guys have done enough now. Sit down. It's kind of what it is. And so, and at the end of the day, has it been we got things for instance, the Redskins changing the name, the actors giving up roles, the different things that we got. They pulling different TV shows off the air. It's a lot of companies are making Juneteenth holidays and things like that. But the actual goal that the actual reason that people were out there fighting for social justice, is that all a part of it, or is it just are we missing the mark? What do you guys think?
What you think, so?
This is a loaded question for Jay and Soul too. Yeah, that's why I knew he was going to let Soul go first, so I can go.
I was going to take it first. I was like, so it seems like with all of the information that's being given to us at one time.
I'm going to lean in a little. These are cheap mics.
Sorry, get closer to the mic.
Right.
It seems like when you have an intense amount of information being pushed towards you, and you don't have structure with that information, that's the definition of confusion, basically.
Yeah.
And we see a lot of that right now. That seems to be the main thing that's going on. Is there's a lot of confusion that's happening with a lot of people. As far as that, there's some goals are being, I guess, met. You know what I'm saying? There's some things that are coming to light. People are starting to wake up. You seeing some things shift. I think it's important that during this time, we don't lose focus, because some of those changes could be, I don't want to use the word distractions.
Yeah. I'll use it as a distraction. Go ahead.
Distraction.
Go ahead.
Some of those things can be kind of like the flashy things that's happening over here, while we ignore what's going on in that dark corner over there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I think it's good to let yourself, you know, feel some of those good charges about some of the changes that are happening. But at the same time, I think it's extremely important that you know, you stand fast and make sure the main goal is being achieved
Right.
and
Yeah.
being focused on and being pushed towards.
Definitely.
What was the question, Dave?
They don't even be listening to
It was a
those, but
while
no,
ago.
I'm just messing with you.
Sometimes
But
I do.
but no, just specifically about like the protests and how, especially specifically how they're being addressed now. You know, with like I said, calling out federal officers and things like that. Um, how effective do you think the protests have been at actually, bringing about the change that was being sought after uh, with the
Well, let me. What's the change that's being sought after?
That's a good question, and I think that speaks to what Soul was saying about all the information without real context or definition. Because it's like I think that it's different for everybody, and maybe there's a group of people, certain groups that are fighting for the same thing. But I mean, I know police reform was one thing. I think at the heart of it was just like. Something that I don't know if necessarily can be achieved, which is to stop the police from killing unarmed black people, unjustly. Um, and I mean, I think we can work toward putting things in place to curtail it, but I don't know if it's necessarily just because racism is something that's strong and stuff. But I don't want to, step on your. But yeah, so that's the question: is how effective have these protests and marches and riots and civil unrest been in us us trying to achieve any goal for that matter?
Well, I think we've always protested.
Right.
I guess what we're seeing now are like visible protests in the form of like people gathering in spaces and showing a concern about whatever particular atrocity of the day is.
Right.
But and forgive me, I'm channeling. So I want to give thanks to the ancestors for even allowing us to be here. But at some point, the karmatic shift of the earth, will happen, and it's happening now. And because it's very simple. Like things have been made very complicated, and it's very simple. Like we know, as human beings, when we're born, we know what's right, we know what's wrong, we know what's destructive, we know what's harmful. Like we don't need information to convey horrible treatment of people, the planet, environments, or whatever. And so there has been a spell over our understanding of what's happening to the earth. And so that spell is loosening up. The veil is being lifted, and people are understanding like, oh, there's a demographic or a group of people that are harmful to the planet, that live and operate in a state of harm or evil or negative. And so, and it's real simple and plain. And I think the veil is just being lifted, and people are just understanding. So it becomes deeper, because of my enlightenment. Also, I see that it's less and less about race. And this is something that I've had to struggle with in an effort to understand and see things resonate at a higher frequency. It's like, oh, okay, so, but all that to say, Dave, to try to come back and stick to your question, I think there's always going to be some type of protest, whether it's through the arts, whether it's through people gathering in the street, whether it's how people educate their children, whether it's how people start eating, what I'm saying? There's always been some type of protest because we're in an unnatural state of existence. We are existing in an unnatural state. So we're going to always protest or fight until we feel whole or healed, or you know what I'm saying? So, so I'm looking forward to coming out on top of this prophesized change that has to happen. Like, it has to happen. We got to go through it. So here we go.
Cool.
Here we go, indeed.
Right, here we go. That's how you. So, moving to some, some lighter topics before we interrogate Jacob Soul here. No, but I did want to talk a little bit about, because I know all of us here are hip hop heads. We grew up to hip hop music, and the versus battles have been good so far, building up to, I think, one of their best ones yet, the DMX and Snoop Dogg battle. Did you guys check it out?
Nah.
You didn't get to see it?
I saw some of it. I didn't see the whole joint. I saw about 30 minutes of it.
Yeah, I watched.
It was good.
Yeah, I watched a good, maybe 75% of it. I was at work, so I couldn't watch the whole thing. But yeah, it was like everybody saying DMX won, and I definitely agree. While Snoop had a lot of energy and everything, at the end of the day, he kind of was like a hype man for X. X was killing it. He went in. Song, and this was such so much nostalgia with this, just because I grew up to both of these dudes, to their music, and so going back, taking that trip down memory lane from their first songs to, more recent stuff that they put out was amazing. It was great to see, and they had, I think it was, let me see, I had the notes. I think it was 2.7 million viewers. Which is one of the highest numbers that they've had on the versus battle. So shout out to Timberland and Swiss for putting this whole thing together and partnering with Instagram to do these versus battles, and something that's bringing joy and and light to the world in these dark times. Having the enjoyment of music, of one of the things that was made to kind of do that and lighten the mood and bring things to a better place. And so it was really good. One of the latest things that came out, I saw on social media. After that, they said that T.I. was saying that he wanted to battle Jay-Z on the versus battle, and a lot of people are giving him flack and saying he needs to stay in his lane and he can't really, pick somebody a little less. You guys think he'd be a match for Jigga?
What happened to him wanting to battle 50? I thought he wanted to battle 50 Cent.
He did at first.
I don't know.
So that battle didn't happen.
I guess it fell through. It didn't happen. So I don't know. I'm not sure. I can't, but I know now they're saying that
you know what? Tip is a legend, right? He's a legend. I get, and he understands that he's a legend. But to be completely honest, and he's getting a lot of flack for it now. That whole Crime Stoppers joint, Jeff, it fucked up his legacy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, it really did. Not judging what he did or what have you, but I'm just saying that tainted his legacy, whereas though, it prohibits him from being on a level of like Jay. And so
now, when you say the Crime Stoppers joint, because I heard they say that he snitched on some people or something. But is that what you're talking about?
I don't think he's actually snitched on people, but part of his plea, I think, and I don't know, I don't have the paperwork. I don't like speaking on people,
okay.
You know what I'm saying? But just from what
you've heard, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it gets real. But, he, in order to lighten his sentence, he had to do like commercials for Crime Stoppers. Not actually snitching on nobody, but just saying,
don't.
If you know something happening in your community, call such and such, such and such.
And they like,
commercials like that?
Yeah. And
so they basically set him up.
But they knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing, and it's coming to fruition now, because now, when he is, I guess, attempting to place himself with legendary artists, you know, like he's tried to battle 50, tried to battle Jay or what have you. You know, and it's not real battles. It's just
Yeah, the
showcasing
little versus
your
thing.
career.
But you
Yeah,
know,
but
putting
it's
yourself
like-
in the same.
Yeah,
know,
but
sentence
because
zone.
of that, people just like, nah, go sit down, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, so, but that doesn't artistically take away what he's done and what he's accomplished as an artist,
Right,
especially
right.
repping the A. But
So
yeah,
that
definitely
being out of the,
tainted his
so
legacy.
so that being out of the picture, do you think he had enough to see Jay?
Maybe not Jay, but probably 50. You know,
Memphis Bleak, maybe. No, I'm just no.
Bleak?
No, I'm just playing.
Oh, man.
No, I'm just joking. Now, shout out to Bleak though. That's a real man. Like he had bars, but that was just a joke. And you know,
Yeah,
but,
I don't know. I don't know who would be good for Tip.
I think 50 would have been definitely a better
Better
match
match.
than,
Yeah,
than
definitely.
Jay-Z.
They kind of on the same, you know, lyrically and well, I don't know. Tip might have them lyrically, but just on songs like their hits and stuff.
Because 50 got hits, but Tip got
50
hits too.
Yeah, definitely, more than a few.
Yeah.
And so maybe him and Luda, because they even had beef, you know, at one time.
Luda went up against somebody already.
Oh,
Who did Luda go up against?
he did, didn't he?
Yeah, I don't even
forgot,
remember. Unless you know about that versus.
Right. Yeah.
Who was
It
it?
was, but now it's really catching
Oh,
on.
it's
and
Nelly, I think.
It was Nelly.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, and yeah, I guess they would be kind of evenly matched. But
Yeah, they both had a run.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so since we talking about the hip hop and who we rock with, we always like to, you know, everybody that come through, we like to ask them about their hip hop Mount Rushmore. It's 4 faces on Mount Rushmore.
Nope.
Who you gonna
we
put?
changed it, Dave. It had to be
What-
top 5 because it's hip hop.
Okay, top
Hip-hop
5.
has to be
Yeah.
top 5.
Okay. All right.
Sports can be Mount Rushmore, but
All
hip
right.
hop has to
All
be
right.
top 5.
All right. Top 5. Jacob Soul, who you got? Who's the top 5? I put you on the spot. And take into consideration that we know that it changes, because my top 5 changes constantly. Like I'll hear a song and be like, oh yeah, I forgot
You
about
ain't loyal,
such and
Dave.
such. Well, I mean, I have my
Top
ones
5
that
been the
have-
same for like 20 years.
Okay, but
Loyalty.
I don't know. You heard somebody differently. You still stuck with you. Anyway, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what the fuck
That's
loyalty
what
is.
loyalty is. That's a good point. That's a good point. Go ahead.
I can see both sides. You know, I can see the loyalty side and like it changing because
Yeah,
you know
'cause
some
My
You
top
do
10 has
information.
changed, but my top 5 remains the same.
Okay. What you got? I was, you know, stall and give you a second to come up with some, you know.
my top 5 in hip hop, and I'm not when I give this list, it won't be like
No particular
it
order.
won't be in a particular order.
Okay.
So for me, Jay-Z is definitely on that list. Is one of the top 5. I want to put Black Thought on that list somewhere because I think he's awesome and he's not spoken about enough.
Definitely.
I want to throw. At the moment, I want to throw Kendrick Lamar somewhere up in there. I am a
Okay.
K. Dot.
big fan of K. Dot in the work that he's done
Right.
to this point. How many is that? 3?
That's
Yeah.
3. Yeah.
Okay.
It's tough. It's tough. I know. It is. So,
Let me see.
so you said Jay, Kendrick, and who else?
Black Thought.
Black
so
Thought.
far.
Okay, that's solid so far.
That's bars.
Solid so far.
Got a lot of bars.
This is where we get a little tight because murder. Okay, so let me also say on top of those 3. I'm still thinking about who I want to say. You can tell.
Right.
And
I will
to
pick
be
the
clear-
one whose name begins with.
So let me also say Pac and Biggie. So I would say Pac, Biggie, Jay-Z, Black Thought, Kendrick Lamar is my top 5
That was good.
at this moment.
Yeah.
At this moment.
Subject to
Feel proud.
change.
Feel proud of that.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
good-
That's a
it's
good
a
list.
good joint.
That's a strong list.
Yeah.
Definitely. So yeah, that's now Kendrick, I would say is probably the youngest, the newest artist that you have on there.
Yeah.
You know, who are you listening to now?
Well, actually, at the moment, I'm listening to mostly my stuff.
No.
That's right.
Hey, real quick, what's it that? Donald Glover. I don't know if you ever seen his stand up. He had a joke about that, about how like he had picked up a girl. She was riding with him, and he was playing one of his songs, and she was kind of looking at him like, "You conceited much?" And he's like this. But music is the only profession where people feel like that. He was like, if I was working at Subway and I went home and made a sandwich, everybody wouldn't be like, oh yeah. I thought that was pretty right. That's all you do, huh? Yeah. But yeah, no, it's cool to listen to your stuff, man.
Well, most of the stuff, pretty much everything I'm listening to is not complete though. Like, because I'm listening right now in the form of producing and creating these songs, and before everybody else can listen to them. Right. So for the most part, right now I'm listening to my stuff. Cool. But when I'm not listening to my stuff, I'm gonna try to get the name of this band right. And Jay might have
with
to
the
help
long
me.
hair.
Yeah, since Duff ain't here, Jay gonna have to help me.
Duff is fired anyway. Duff doesn't know anything anymore.
You heard that, Duff? You heard what Jay said?
He took all your knowledge away, Duff. Come on, Duff.
Karujabin.
Okay.
Karumbin. Right,
Okay.
It's this band out of Texas. This 3-piece band out of Texas. They vicious.
Okay, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
they are.
Yeah, drummer, bass player, and guitar player.
Okay.
So I'm listening to a lot of them, and it's all instrumental mostly.
Wow. Okay. That's awesome.
I've been listening to a little bit of samba. You heard of her? Samba?
No, I haven't. Is it singing?
S-A-B-A. Yeah, she's
okay,
a beast. Cool. She's a beast. She's singing rhyme.
Oh, okay.
I've been listening to her a lot lately.
Cool.
Who else I've been listening to lately? I've been listening to a lot of Bob Marley lately as well.
Oh, okay.
Boom.
Yeah, he come. It's like that's. I keep like some Bob Marley around, and every now and again to come around in the rotation, and I just be like, why am I not listening to this all the time? But it's just dope music.
I play Rastaman chant like every morning for like an hour straight. Between like 9 and 10 in the morning, out my window,
out the window too. So people walking by. Like,
that's a good energy. That's a good vibe to hear in the morning.
Good morning, wake up.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So
yeah, man, I've been listening to some good stuff, but like I said, mostly the stuff I'm trying to focus on
your stuff
creating right now.
Cool.
That's got me focused.
Great, man. So I brought up T.I. and I wanted to talk a little bit about his. We don't make a habit of promoting other people's podcasts, but that Expeditiously. Have you seen any of the episodes of it? It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I saw one. I watched one last night. I don't know if it's the most recent one he put out, but the one he did with Mike Tyson. And the more I see Mike Tyson in interviews, a lot of people, it was always jokes about his intelligence and things like that from back in the day. It's a level of wisdom that he's garnered just from being through. So you can't go through all the stuff that Mike went through and not pick up some jewels in life. Mm-hmm. And so he holds all this. He's not as articulate, of course, but I say of course, but he's not. But and he's even working on the communication skills and becoming more articulate. You can see, in his interviews of late, and now he has his own podcast, Hot Boxing with Mike Tyson, because he's cannabis is the word he uses, a cannabis connoisseur and entrepreneur. Yeah, weed. Yeah. He's with the sticky icky. But it was a real interesting interview, and like I said, just hearing the stories from things that he's been through, and then also, some of the jewels that he dropped, little nuggets of wisdom. Like, for instance, there was T.I. asked him about being married, and he said he was married 3 times. And Tip said something to the effect of, "Oh, you don't even count the first one, do you?" And he's like, "No, I count all of them." He was like, as you get older, you start to see women differently. So he was like, when I was a young guy, Mike told, he was like, I was a young guy with a bull. I was just running he said I saw them as pleasure. And it was just, that's what they were, like a source of pleasure for him. And then as he got older, he got married and stuff, and he saw women as an object to have, to make him feel like a man, like to own it. And then he's like, now in this stage of his life, he sees them as his teachers. And like, to kind of break through all of the, like, for me, what it said was to kind of break through all of the for lack of a better term, all the bullshit of the patriarchal society, and understand the power of like that matriarchy and how much wisdom they have to impart upon us, and be able to take it in and understand like he sees women as his teachers. Like that's such an interesting statement. And I mean, I think it speaks volumes to his progression as a person. And he's an interesting dude. Like I love to get Mike Tyson on this show. We're gonna work on that. We're gonna try to get him on here and ask him some questions. Speaking of that, he's talking about fighting coming up soon. I know y'all heard about that. He's talking about stepping in the ring with Roy Jones Jr. Let me get the specifics.
Oh, it's on the notes.
We was talking about that last night. What was it 27th? The 12th of August?
Yeah, the 12th of September.
September.
Yeah. So Mike is 53, Roy Jones is 51. And they're talking about stepping in the ring for an exhibition bout, going a couple of rounds. And Mike looks sharp, man. I haven't seen any videos of Roy's practicing. And Roy ain't no slouch, though. But I don't know, man. Like, what y'all think about that bout? You think it's going to be... You think Roy making a mistake?
Yo. I think it's gonna be a moneymaker, first of all.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's people who have loved him their whole careers, and they're arguably two of the best fighters in the world. And so just to have them step into the ring with each other, it's gonna be interesting.
I feel like as soon as Mike Tyson put gloves back on in the ring, surrounded by I don't know if there's gonna be a crowd because I don't know how.
It might be
doing it right now.
Just cameras or something. But
I feel like he's gonna go right back to like. When he was like
Iron
young,
Mike, he
gonna lock himself into that mental zone. He's gonna go get it, yo. I think he's just gonna get it.
Yeah, and the level of wisdom that he's garnered, I think, put him in a place where he can compartmentalize and do that and be that, and still all the work that he's made to separate itself from the negative side of that can still be intact. So hopefully, that's what happens. What you think, Jay? You
Yeah, I mean, just based off the. Being on the outside looking in, it seems as though Mike Tyson looks like the best candidate for this
election.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to bet money, I would go with Tyson. Because I seen some training with Roy Jones. It was just a small clip. And, he wasn't even training for real. He had on, like, flip-flops. But he was in the ring with his, what I'm saying? Mike Tyson still looks like Mike Tyson.
Like, right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, get the strap, nigga. Like, I'm fighting you. Like, but,
right.
So, but boxing is any man can have his day. So I ain't just writing Roy off because he's great too. Right. But if I had to bet money, I'm betting on Tyson.
Yeah, Tyson, he's looking strong. And it was a stark contrast from when Mike started and when he went through that period of just running through people, even to like toward the end of his career where even coming into the ring, you could kind of see it was a different situation, right? Like, and he talks about it how, by that time he was heavy into cocaine and things like that. And so it wasn't the same Mike Tyson that, say, Customato built, And so, you kind of see that ferocity and that kind of light in him, kind of, in the training videos that he's put out recently of himself. So either way, like you said, it's going to be a great show, I think. I'm definitely checking out September 12th. I haven't heard anybody say where it's going to be September 12th specifically. Have they announced?
I don't know.
Who's going to have it, like Showtime or something?
Is it pay-per-view?
It might be, probably.
Yeah, I'm sure
you're trying to get that money. Yeah,
I'm sure they gonna pay for that.
Yeah, and there was a couple of other, interesting revelations that Mike made on that Expeditiously podcast. So check that out if you get the chance. I saw another story about, and I know you guys are more into basketball than I am, but Jordan has a rookie jersey that's going up for auction. Have you heard about this? Mm-hmm. And they're saying it's supposed to be going for up to $500,000, and they're wondering if this is his rookie jersey. It's a red mesh Rollins jersey. It's back when Rollins did the basketball jersey. Rollins jersey was worn multiple times by Jordan during the 1984 to 85 season, and it's autographed by him. So they're saying it's supposed to pull a nice piece of change. At auction, like $500,000 is one of the the highest amounts that I think memorabilia of that era, has gone for. But because it's Jordan, I think, and they, the story that I read cited things like the new documentary that's out for reinvigorating people's interest in Jordan, and really kind of bringing that whole thing full circle, so that now his stuff, because they said that there's a couple of other items of his, some shorts, and it was something else. Something weird, like some socks or something that was supposed to be auctioned for for a lot of money. I don't know if I want to buy somebody's socks. Like, I mean, I guess because he wore it in the game, it adds a certain value to it. But I don't want nobody's socks. I don't, But then again, I'm not. So let me ask y'all, as being fans of basketball, like. Well, I only Jacob. Are you really you into basketball?
I'm into basketball.
Okay. But
I'm not rich enough. I'm not no way near rich enough or close to being rich at all to have that type of conversation as far as being able to buy a man socks for X amount of dollars.
Right.
I can't even fathom. I can't even think about what that is like.
Right. To be at a place to be like, what,
a bunch of money.
I want those socks.
I'll bid on those socks.
Just to have them though.
Right.
They steal socks.
Right, it's still it's a pair of socks.
Yeah.
I don't know, but if you bring people over, I got Jordan socks, right?
See these? He signed them.
Right, Jay, would you maybe the jersey?
Well, at this point in my life, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit.
Oh.
I don't care about really sports at all, based on where we at now. Like there has been a point in time I was very much involved in paraphernalia and jerseys and autographed jerseys and cards and all of that. So I definitely understand the sentiment, but at this point, man, I don't give a fuck about that shit. Like, honestly, I don't even care.
Right, about the memorabilia and stuff.
Yeah, at all.
So I just thought it's interesting. They said that because of who he is, that $500K for his jersey. Like I said, that's one of the highest prices. Sports memorabilia from that era, it's stuff from further back that's gone for certain amounts, but that's good for Mike. Shout out to Mike.
I wonder who's gonna buy it.
Right.
I wonder who's gonna pay that.
That's a good question. It's always collectors and people
Yeah.
that'll put up that bread for
Somebody
it.
gonna buy it.
Yeah. So one day somebody gonna be talking about y'all memorabilia like that. I got a wife beater that was worn by Jacob Soul. Going for $500,000. I don't know. But I did want to real quickly send a shout out and prayers to Biz Marquis. I heard he's in the hospital dealing with complications. They say his publicist made it clear that it didn't have anything to do with corona. It was complications from type 2 diabetes, which he's been struggling with for a while. Or he's been dealing with for a while, and more lately struggling with, and this complications to the point where he's been hospitalized for what they're saying is a couple of weeks now. And so I see a lot of people on social media sending prayers up to him, and we definitely want to add to that, and extend our prayers and hopes that he get well soon. He's been a staple in music for forever, right? As long as I know, as long as I've been following music.
I didn't know he was in the hospital.
Yeah. They just and the news just broke over the weekend. So I mean, I think a couple of people kind of said some stuff on Twitter, and people picked it up. Speaking of that, I wanted to also send some love and shouts out to our co-host Fruitfit, who's has been going through some health issues. I know she has a lot of fans and friends who follow us, who watch us, and we appreciate it. And she'll be back with us real soon. She's back home and doing well with her recovery efforts. So shout out to her and her family. We can't wait to have her back in here because it gets real. It's a lot of testosterone, and me and Jay, we get real testosterone up in here. But
I'm fried today though. I'm real mellow.
Yeah, he's chilling. But yeah, on the regular, it's good to have that estrogen to break it up, and her wisdom and feminine energy.
Someone has a statement.
Okay, what's up?
Man, Freedom says, is that contraband paraphernalia on Super Dave's head?
Contraband paraphernalia. I'm glad you brought that up, Freedom.
I think it is, Freedom.
Because I've said it before, and I'll address it directly. Yeah, so like I said in the show a little while ago, and I know you was watching the show, Freedom. I have like I said, an unpopular opinion about the whole situation, and I'll sum it up because I don't want to take too much time from our interview. But basically, the young lady who started the push to change the name and the whole name thing, like, I definitely understand, regardless of how I feel about it. If somebody feels offended by it, I'm gonna respect that. I'm not gonna use the name. But the young lady who started that whole push to change the name and the mascot, she doesn't look like me, basically. So historically, there's a group of people who came from places like Alaska, who came to America, and they're considered Native Americans also, but there were already people here when they got here, and those people look like me, and those people look like the dude right here. They're brown skinned, they're darker, and so I feel like it's a section of that population that's underrepresented because so many people who have those characteristics and came from those different places kind of stepped to the forefront and took advantage of a lot of the things that were offered and things of that nature. And we talked about it before, but so, I mean, like I said, she doesn't look like me. This dude does, and this dude represents. So, I mean, and I've been, and like I said, I respect the fact that the name, some people feel like it's offensive, and so I don't use the name anymore. Like, you won't hear me say that name anymore. But I still represent the brown guy that looks like me, and that's my reason for. And I mean, when they change it, I'm gonna change. I'm gonna change because I rock with the team. But so that's my reason.
So the answer, Freedom, is yes.
Yes.
It is contraband paraphernalia.
Yeah, 100%. Yep. And but it's a meaning behind it. I'm not just wearing it because I'm like, go skin. That whole thing is, so it's reasoning.
Yes, he needs some research, Freedom. I know.
Okay.
I got you.
Don't worry. It's different stuff than what I was saying. But okay, we'll talk about it after
Absolutely.
the show.
We'll talk about it, Dave.
Okay. But
okay, Freedom.
But yeah, so let's get into this interview.
Uh-oh.
You ready?
I guess.
He said, "Oh," like he was about to be like,
yeah, you said let's get into the interview.
He's hype about the.
I am hype. This is my version of hype. Today.
Today, it's a mellow hype.
Yeah.
We so glad to have the one and only Jacob Soul with us today. Welcome, brother. It's good to have you here on the Neighborish live cast. You've been rocking with Jason for a long time. How did you guys meet?
I think we were just talking about that recently.
Yeah, we were.
Let's see. So there used to be this this was years ago. It was about 8 years ago, 10 years ago.
What? I don't even know what you're talking about.
We met. There used to be this
08.
08.
Yeah.
So there used to be this thing called Mind Power, where we would, link up. It would be a group of like artists and some producers, and we would meet up for this like freestyle cipher, and it would be like, it was like 12 o'clock on us, like midnight. Right. You know what I'm saying? And it was at this spot called what was that? Atmosphere?
Yeah, Atmosphere.
It was at Atmosphere back in the days. Mount Rainier, and the artist lost. And I don't know, man. It would be like 15 to 20 artists and producers, and we would have basically this freestyle circle and cipher, and we would just get our chops up, man. Like, we would have different topics to rhyme on and do alliteration, and it was just building and flowing, and it was just good energy.
Cool.
So I actually met John Johnson, which is also a really good friend of ours.
When you were talking about it, I was like, this sounds like something John Johnson would be a part of. Shout out to John Johnson.
Yeah.
So I met John before I met Jay, and I met John at this event.
Okay.
I learned about the event through Omar Retnu, a good friend, and also Jabari Exum. I think they was kind of pushing the event, him and Jalil Gibran. And Khalil. I'm tripping.
Sorry.
So it was a long time ago.
It was.
Sorry.
But yeah, so I met John a couple of times, John Johnson, at this event, and we started linking up and building. And then one day I came to the joint, to the event, and John was sitting at the table with this guy, right? And me and John always had John got a certain energy, is very welcoming.
Right,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
definitely,
It's very
definitely.
Like, come on in, I'm John, meet me,
Right.
talk to me. So, I seeing John again, I was like, yo, John, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Boom, giving him that energy. And then John introduced me to Jay, and I always remember this. Jay was sitting at the end of the table, and he was just like not talking to nobody, right? And, it was like you couldn't tell if he wanted to be there or not. You know what I'm saying?
It's Jay on the regular.
Yeah.
Jay right now,
Exactly.
today.
Yeah.
So I was like, I went to say what's up to him, and I gave him that the John Johnson energy, that hey, what's going on, man? And he was just like, yeah, what's up, man? He gave me that, and I was just like, who is this dude?
Right,
you know what I'm
right,
saying?
yeah,
Like, we are not gonna get along. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna know you, cuz.
That's
But
you meet him and he can't be nicer. He's real nice.
Yeah. And then we went on through with the session, and then next thing you know, John asked me, and at the time I didn't know Duff, but he also asked Duff to get together to perform for this play that he was doing called That's Why I Hate White People.
Why I hate white people. Why I hate black
people.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we all got called together, me, Duff, Jabari, Jay. There were some more people in the fam as well. And that's when we all started. That's when we first started kind of linking up. That's when I started having a chance to really build and communicate with the brethren more. But that official first time we actually met was at that freestyle cipher.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even remember it, but he
Well,
tells me all the time.
Right. He's like, this is where we met at. Cool.
Right.
So,
Right.
He'd still be like, whatever, man. That ain't how we met.
That's all
That ain't how
it
we
is.
met, man.
Oh, so, Jay, you have a different how we met story?
I don't.
Okay.
I remember going to the Atmosphere, the Mind Power joint, but I don't. I thought I don't know. I thought I was outside when I met you. We was sitting outside the joint.
Outside that joint?
Yeah, but I don't know.
That's
So
probably,
maybe
that's
that
probably
first
when
initial.
you remember me.
Yeah, that's that first initial.
Yeah.
That's why he don't
He
even
didn't even-
remember
yeah,
it. That's why he was like, hey, what's up?
He didn't
Hey,
even
what's up?
register the first
Right.
time. Like, if I meet you 2 more times, then I
Then,
know.
then
I'll meet you.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Definitely.
I'm glad it worked out.
So let's go back, and talk about the beginnings of who Jacob Soul is. Like, when did you first realize that you had, the ability to sing? Like, when you.
Oh man. So I started like my initial relationship with music was dancing. I used to want to dance.
Okay.
When I was in the 6th grade.
Laughing like he couldn't dance. What happened?
Oh,
I
man.
could dance.
Like Elaine on Seinfeld. But no, the way he was laughing was like.
Nah, because nobody don't ever believe that. You know?
Oh, you don't believe he was a dancer?
Nigga
Man, go ahead and pop.
Because I don't dance no more.
Nah.
Niggas don't dance no more.
Right.
Niggas dance.
But yeah,
Oh, they
so
do
so
it sticks.
dancing was your initial introduction to music.
Man, I was in the 6th grade, and I'm growing up in a small town in the South,
Right.
and I'm telling my 6th grade teacher that I want to be a dancer when I grow up.
Okay.
And she was like, oh, that's nice. She was like, what do you want to do? You want to do modern or ballet? And I'm in the 6th grade. I'm like, what? Like, what are you talking about? I gave her the craziest little black boy look
Right.
I could ever give a older white lady. And,
It's like, nah, I'm
I
gonna do
said-
the Running Man. That's what I'm.
I told her, I said, I want to dance in hip hop videos, and then she gave me the crazy look that I gave her right back.
Right.
It's like, what are you talking about? What is hip hop? But from then, man, I would like watch all the dances, like Scoop Love and Scrap Lover, like that was those Big Daddy Kane dances, Heavy D had dances, EPMD had dances. You know, I was just on my dancing shit.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And then that went all the way up through probably like 8th grade. And then I realized that dancing wasn't gonna get me out of my neighborhood, so I had to start like playing sports. But somewhere in before I started really playing sports, I started really getting interested in like singing. You know, I used to lip sing like all New Edition stuff. You know, I'm telling my age. You know what I'm saying?
It's all good. Everybody in this room right now was fans of New Edition. Go ahead, man. It's still off for real.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm sure the gray hairs on my beard is telling my age as well.
Right.
But yeah, man, I started out singing. I really started getting into like singing like Boys to Men and like Shy and like 112 and Troop. You know, like
Yeah.
spread my wings, all of that stuff. Yeah, like so before, like right before high school, I was really getting into to singing a lot more, and I remember there used to be groups all around the neighborhood, and I used to want to like be in a group, and there was this one group that they let me kind of be like an honorary member of, like I wouldn't sing with them on stage, but like. In the cafeteria, I would sing with them. You know what I'm saying? They'd be like, they call me CJ. They'd be like, CJ, come do this part. Da, 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 da. And I thought that was dope.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah.
But so I really kind of paused from singing when I started playing sports a lot. And then when I went to college, I actually started singing a little more because there was some guys around there I used to sing a lot more with. So I was.
Where'd you go to college? I'm sorry.
I went to a small Division II college called Catawba College in Salisbury, North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
I played, football over there.
He said small, but he also said Division II. He said went ahead and
it was D2.
Yeah, D2. yeah. Not D1,
it wasn't
but D2.
too small.
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like
But it was good football. Good football over there.
Cool.
Yeah. So I would say I first really knew that I could sing a little bit was probably like probably around like junior high when I really started like singing the stuff that I liked, that I heard, that I liked.
Right.
I could like repeat it. I used to sing that you remember Tyrese did the Coca-Cola song?
Oh yeah.
I used to
That's
sing
what
that
got
shit
him
all
on.
the time. I used to sing that Always Joy all the time, you know what I'm saying? But since I was playing sports, I didn't sing a whole lot like in front of people. You know what I'm saying? I would be like at my house giving my furniture concerts and stuff like that. But in public I was an athlete and I was playing sports and I was focused on that because ain't nobody ever made it out of my hood singing.
Yeah. That's an interesting thought process that I think runs through a lot of people is got to be something that's going to get you out of where you are, like something that's going to take you away from like those circumstances. Have you always felt like that, like whether it be sports or music or whatever you pursued, it had to be something that was going kind of get you away from where you were?
I think so, man. There's definitely this connection with like, that survival, that survivalness.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, and trying to evolve my surroundings and evolve myself, through my surroundings. So yeah, I think like even with sports, like I like playing sports. I never really watched a whole lot of sports coming up. Like never really had a favorite football team or a basketball team, a whole lot. But I used to like to jump around a lot. Since I was a kid, I had a lot of energy, and my mom used to call me Tigger because I didn't really walk. I used to like bounce.
Okay.
Every place I went, I would bounce. Yeah. So by the time I was in the 6th grade, man, I was looking around my situation in my hood, and I was just like, I was like, I gotta make some decisions.
Yeah.
Had that man-to-man talk with myself.
Right. Yeah.
And I decided, I was like, well, I like singing and I like rhyming and I like all of that stuff. Because I started rapping like really first before I started singing.
Okay.
So I liked all of that stuff, but at the same time, I was like, I also need to really get up out of this neighborhood.
Right.
Because it's wild.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need to go to college. I need to try to make some moves. So that's really my main focus for sports was to get into, to try to get a little bit of money to go to school.
Right.
Because I knew it was gonna be tough trying to pay for it. So
Right. And you were able to accomplish that.
Yeah,
That's dope, man.
Yeah,
That's
man.
dope.
I dedicated a lot of time to athletics in high school, and I don't regret that because it taught me a lot. But I do regret not spending more time with my art and that part of my interest. You know what I'm saying? It was like it was weird, man. It was like I remember like just shutting it off. It was like, all right, no more music. Just focusing on this. You know, and I just engulfed myself into that.
And was that more that survival mode, that kind of like, this is what's going to get me there, so this is what I need to focus on?
That's exactly what it was. It was survival mode, and it was like, the art made my soul and everything feel good. You know what I'm saying? And my spirit feel good. But knowing that I was creating a way to try to make an opportunity for myself. Try to get some money to go to college so I can further my life and try to make some better opportunities. I felt like college was gonna give me that, because that's what I was told since kindergarten.
Yeah.
They were like, you go to college, everything gonna be all right. So I really focused on that, and yeah, like I said, I think it's.
And was everything all right? No, I'm just. No, go ahead. I'm just picking it.
It definitely taught me. Like I said, it taught me some valuable lessons.
Cool.
But I really feel it was really glad. I mean, I was really glad to meet like Jay and O and Duff and Jabari and all these cats, because it was really giving me a chance to get back into the music. I did some stuff with some guys even before then. Shout out to Target Squad, you know what I'm saying? Back in the days.
Yeah, I know Target Squad. Yeah,
I used to rock with Target Squad real heavy.
Okay.
Doing a lot of stuff musically.
Uptown,
Uptown. We used to be up there hard.
Yeah.
And we was doing some cool stuff, but I was really looking to evolve as an artist. So I was kind of looking to, find some more people to build with that was on a more common frequency that I was on. As far as like what I wanted to bring to the music, more live instruments, a little more content as far as subject matter. Man, I found a brethren. So we've been building. I've been building slow. It's been a slow grind for me, but I've been able to really watch some amazing things happen with some people that are close to me. So it's good to come around now and to be in a space where I'm able to create with these people as well. It's a good thing.
That's dope. Yeah.
Answer like 8 questions.
That's cool. You checked off a few of them that I had though. That's good though. That's good. You making my job easy today. I appreciate you. But yeah, and so you say you were kind of looking for, sum it up and say more depth, and and being with around like the artists that you mentioned, people like Jay and Duff and different people like that, and having that certain social justice component, would you say that was what you were looking for, or you said more the live instrumentation also, but that depth, adding that kind of component to it of, 'cause being about the people and, making music that's tailored toward that, that vibe. Is that what it was you were looking for? Would you say? Or
because I was loving everything we was doing with the squad. I was writing a lot of hooks and singing hooks for them, and also doing some ghostwriting for like verses and stuff like that.
You was ghostwriting?
You a little ghostwriting,
you know what I'm saying?
Do a little something. I get you right.
Right. Oh, I'm good, but I appreciate it. No,
and it was cool, and I was I was learning a lot of stuff. But there was also like a lot of conversations that I would want to have when we would, just be chilling together like brethren that I knew that it would be hard to have. You know what I'm saying? Because they'll be like, "What you mean the banks might close? Or what you talking about tanks on Pennsylvania Avenue one day?" And,
right.
You know what I'm saying? so just looking for some wells of where I could kind of quench this thirst that I had.
Yeah.
I was seeking a lot of knowledge and information, and I was kind of doing it in a really independent space.
Right.
And I guess subconsciously, I was kind of just really looking to find some brethren and sistering that I could really sit down and relate to, on conversation.
Yeah.
And I think that's another reason why, like, with me, it wasn't like, okay, I met these, I got some people I can build with. Let me hurry up and put this music out. It was like, I got some people I can build with. Let me build with them. Let me get to know them. Let them get to know me.
Yeah.
Because I was really, I was looking to build some long-term, relationships. You know what I'm
Right.
saying, and friendships.
Yeah.
So I was blessed enough to be able to find a good school of brethren and sister, and to be able to like have some real good back and forth conversations and find some real good perspective.
Right. Yeah.
It's a blessing.
Yeah, definitely. So that that depth that you spoke of is not as prevalent. There are some artists, they're a little more. I would say they're a little harder to find than kind of the mainstream artists. Like, some would say mainstream art is lacking that level of depth. But like, how do you feel about like R&B specifically, and hip hop too? Like, how do you feel about like the modern state? Do you feel like it's lacking that depth, and do you still get what you need from it? Like that spirit.
Well, I feel like you have the commercial market,
Right.
which is everything that's kind of pumped through the radio station and a lot of those filters, but then you have this like kind of I don't even want to really say underground, like this whole online streaming world where like music is now like, it's almost like in a place where every artist is like a star or a planet, where, and now you have this spaceship where you can just go fly down. Once you hear about them, you can just go fly directly to their universe.
Yeah.
Hear everything they got going
That's a dope
on.
visual of how it actually, how it is. You can go fly right to their universe. That's kind of dope.
Man, that's a cool space.
You're a pretty smart dude. I didn't know.
From the South. I don't know a lot of words, but I can tell a lot of stories.
right.
But I thought, what was the question again? I forgot.
Yeah, I was just saying the music that's out now. And real quick, you mentioned you was from the South, so because I thought you were originally from this area.
Oh, nah. I've been in DC for like 20 years though.
Oh, okay. So you
I'm
from
like,
here? Then. Yeah,
I'm like reborn and
you
raised.
one of us? Yeah. But where originally, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm from a small town in South Carolina called Hartsville.
Oh, okay,
Touch your heart,
cool.
Hartsville.
Hartsville. Yeah.
AKA Killerville. What's up?
Oh, okay. It's always got a gangster nickname. Murderland.
South Crack, Killerville, South
Right.
Crack. What's up?
Deathville and everything, But yeah, that's interesting. But I know, South Carolina, North Carolina is where a lot of people, I don't know if it's too many people here that don't have family from somewhere in that region or, down further Georgia, places like that. So
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but you said 20 years. You from DC.
Yeah, I've
You're
been for a minute.
official Washingtonian. yeah.
So, I
So,
moved here when I was 21 years old.
Cool.
Ready
So,
to see what was up.
Yeah.
I forgot the question.
But yeah, no, I was just
Before
asking
question.
specifically about your
what
opinion
we
of music
missing.
today, and like
Oh.
it was missing that
So I was going to say that, with that being said, since we have, this rocket ship that we can actually go and check out all this music once we hear about it, it lends a different space now. And it lends a different relationship for us to have with our art, because now it doesn't have to get filtered through a particular lens or a particular like station where somebody might be getting paid to play this much and this and that and the third.
Right.
Whereas now we can if I just hear about this random artist that Jay might might know about. He can just be like, yo, you heard about this person? I'm like, nah, let me check that out.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that's dope. So I think that creates balance.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, before streaming, there was a time and space where things were, you know, a little more off balance, and was kind of like, you know, very, very filtered as far as like the sound and you know, this sound and this sound and this sound, and very industrialized from that aspect. But I'm really glad of the space where art is right now, where artists, no matter what your art is, you have a direct relationship now with you being the producer of the art and the consumer of the art as well.
Right. Yeah.
So I think you know that's going to create, you know, tremendous balance in the whole industry.
Definitely.
So substance, I do feel like substance will be you know, will be more in the forefront. And I think right now, you know, with the mind space of people where we're at right now, I think people are leaning on art now more than ever.
Definitely.
To help them be a better person.
Yeah.
And just to guide them through what we're going through right now.
Right.
People don't trust things like they used to. People don't trust the same things like they used to. You know, people don't believe everything they hear all the time no more.
Yeah.
You know, it's a different time. So, but you know, that's natural. It's natural for us to rely on art a lot of times when we're confused. You know, we've been singing Negro spirituals for the longest. You know, we was hurting and pain, and we knew we weren't confused. We knew what was going on, but you know that music helped do something to our spirits. You know? You have to feel a certain way while you're singing, or you have to feel a certain way while you're dancing. You know, it raises your vibration. So yes, balance.
Definitely. Okay, so let me ask you. Speaking of that, when you create music, like where do you draw your inspiration from?
Man, so I always tell people when people ask me what type of music I sing. When they say, you know, what's your genre of music? I always tell them I sing blue collar soul music.
Blue collar soul. Okay.
Yeah, BCS, blue collar soul.
Did you coin that term? Is that yours, or did you hear that?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, yeah. I think so. I think you know, I've heard those terms apart a lot of times,
but never.
Yeah, I just kind of put them together.
Yeah. Could that be an album title, maybe?
It could be.
I don't know.
It could be. I'm working on.
I'm gonna put something on you that's not, you know.
Trademark. It'd be nice to create that as a genre, you know, of music, where you know, people are saying, hey, you know, I listen to blue collar soul music. You know, I listen to this. But I feel like when with the inspiration that I get, it definitely comes directly from, you know, my own personal experiences and the experiences that I've seen people go through. You know, and you know, most of the people that I've seen close to me have been, you know, people that are from a certain level of society. You know, and so I express those views in my music, the things that I've seen coming up, you know, the things that was inspiring me to, you know, try to, you know, elevate myself out of my environment that I was born and raised in, and try to find other spaces to learn more. I sing about those things, man. You know, I always tell people that, you know, Bill Withers is like the godfather of of blues collar soul music.
Okay.
You know, and the whole essence of what he kind of brings to the table, as far as from his you know, from what he learned, how he learned to sing, and you know, he didn't go to a Juilliard or any of these major schools. He was self-taught.
Right.
It was very like passion driven, you know, and melody driven, blues driven. You know, he was a blues singer. But so I definitely I pull from the people a lot, man. And of course, you know, I'm inspired by, you know, certain artists as well.
Definitely. And you mentioned Bill Withers. Who else really do you look to as your musical inspiration? Like, people you look up to musically.
Man, I like a lot of the older cats, man. It comes across in my music a lot as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm big on, I'm a big fan of Bill Withers, big fan of Donny Hathaway, everything he was doing. Sam Cooke, a lot of Sam Cooke, Stevie Wonder.
Stevie.
Yeah, man. But then even in my generation, when you look at like the Erykah Badu's and Lauryn Hill and Jill Scott's, and, D'Angelo's.
Right.
Even like now, like I'm listening to a lot of Leon Bridges and
Okay.
these cats. Like, but I would say mostly, man, musically, a lot of Bill, a lot of Sam Cooke, and a lot of Donnie, especially in this project that I'm working on at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, let's talk a little bit about that project since you brought it up, So, how close is it to being complete, or is it just one of those things where, like, when you feel like it's done?
Well, right now we're linking up once a week over at Jay's Spot.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We're having these rehearsals, and we're building on the music. The album is going to be called Jacob Soul and the Rebels presents an acoustic rebellion. And it's
Of Blue Collar Soul. No. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Try to get it in there somewhere. No, that's dope though. That's a dope title. I'm joking, but that's a dope title though. Yeah, that's cool.
It's gonna be presented kind of like a book or something.
Okay.
And it's a concept album, and it's a when they say presents an acoustic rebellion, it kind of it is what it says it is, in the sense of a lot of the songs are going to be stripped down and really brought to you in a very like unplugged type way.
Yeah,
and all the subject matter is going to be things that are a little more politically driven, have a little more about upliftment, what I'm saying, rebel music, in a sense. It's kind of bluesy, kind of jazzy, very
Nice.
soulful.
Nice. Do you have a favorite piece yet?
They all my babies,
Yeah,
all of them.
yeah.
They all my babies.
Yeah.
There's some that are sticking out more than others though.
Okay.
Just as far as coming along, a lot more natural than some of the others. So.
Okay.
Yeah,
Any singles yet?
I'm looking at a couple of joints for singles. To be honest, man, I like to put out as many visuals as possible with it.
Okay.
We're taking like an untraditional marketing strategy. So if I could do 9 videos, I'll do 9 videos.
Yeah. And I mean, content is king at this point. So, if you got the content out there, it's always people are looking for something, especially, like you said, nowadays with everything that's going on, beyond even the social justice aspect of it, and people looking for that inspiration. They're just looking for something to do, something to look at. So, because you see so much that it's, you're looking for something new. So you put out some new content, it's gobbled up immediately. So yeah, get it out there, definitely. I'm all for the 9 visuals idea. I say do it. If you can do it, definitely. Definitely. That's my 2 cents. So you've already you said so. Blue Collar Soul is kind of the genre. You specifically, like your sound. Like, would you compare it to anybody, or maybe just those artists that you mentioned already? Or
I would probably say, like, I always tell people, like, if Bill Withers was making music right now, then and I don't know how much that helps people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They'd be like, oh,
yeah. Bill Withers. I'm gonna go Google him.
But yeah. I guess I got a little a little more like a raspier voice. You know
Right,
what I'm
yeah,
saying? I've heard like a little Anthony Hamilton-ish, or like
Okay.
with a little, maybe like a touch of like John Legend-ish sometimes. But yeah, it's a little more raspy sometimes in the delivery, which helps, express the pain. You know
Right.
what I'm saying, in the music.
Yeah, definitely. Like when you said the acoustic. You said the title.
Acoustic Rebellion.
Acoustic Rebellion. Yeah, I want to say acoustic soul, but that's not. It's acoustic rebellion. But yeah, that's like that whole vibe is like perfect. Like you have that rawness to your voice that I feel like it really fits with that kind of feel. So I'm anxious, man, to see what you got going on.
I'm excited, man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
yes.
I'm really. I remember the first rehearsal we had. It was me and Jay and Warren and Ajane, and we all sitting down, and we're friends. We all been friends for years, so we've all sat down together a million times.
Many times, yeah.
And it was just like to sit down that first time with them and all us like really focusing on this
Focusing on
project,
you.
man.
Yeah,
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 it was kind of surreal, man, because it
Okay.
was just like, yo, like now I'm like, yeah, I'm in here with my friends right now, but we're working right now.
Yeah.
And like
yeah.
it's kind of like one of the dopest feelings
right
in the
yeah.
world,
oh, my
man.
goodness.
You
Yeah.
know? So
Yeah.
we just gotta add a bag to it, man.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Coming, man. Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Definitely.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing, man.
100%. So I want to before we wrap up, I want to talk to you some about being a father, because that's a life-changing experience. It's huge to to bring forth a person from your loins.
More smiles right now. Trying to keep my cheeks
Oh,
down.
okay.
I'm smiling.
You can't smile too much.
That's my baby.
Yeah, but when you talk about, come on, man, that's one of the times we're allowed to break protocol and give him a grin or two. So,
Indeed.
so you said, how old is your son now?
He will be 2 years old the 1st of August.
Yeah. So can we talk a little bit about, because like I said, I'm such a fan, and like it's that the whole process is so fascinating to me, and
I can't tell you about the whole process.
well, not the whole process.
It got wild, Dave.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Look, we don't need to know about
Had
that.
your own process, Dave.
Right.
It was crazy in the beginning.
right. But I'm talking about more of the like. So, but even a little bit like so when you found out like you were going to be a father, like what's that feeling, like the amalgamation of like the
Amalgamation.
Man, that's a great word.
Ain't you?
of like the nervous, like I guess fear. I don't want to, because I've never been in that situation, of course. So I mean, I just like, it's such a fascinating moment. Like, can you, if you don't mind, talking a little bit about that, like the moment you found out like you were gonna be somebody's father.
Oh man.
Oh,
Because when Jay had a kid, like his first,
crazy.
Jay was like, I would just come to him and be like, man, you made a person, dog. Like you
Yeah.
made a person.
yeah, man.
And so, yeah. So should I skip that question?
No,
There's
no.
a lot of.
Definitely not.
I don't know. I don't want to bring up no bad. I don't want you to get in no trouble. But
Baby mama is watching. Right
yeah. Shout out to her.
Hey, Joy Daly. Hello, Kim.
Shout out to her. But we can skip it if you want to.
Nah, man.
You good? Okay.
Nah.
So,
You know, they say sublime, the feeling sublime, right?
that's a
Is-
good word too. Yeah.
It's smaller than your word. That's how I know.
Oh.
No smaller words.
No.
Sublime, Dave.
Okay, right.
So they say that's the feeling between ultimate fear and ultimate like amazement. Right?
Okay.
And it was that, man. It was sublime. I was amazed and scared to death at the same time. And 1,000 thoughts went through my mind. What am I gonna do?
Yeah.
How am I gonna be able to take care of a baby?
Right.
These things. But I quickly kind of got through that period. And
Okay.
kind of just really just swallowed it and was like, hey, okay, I've been taking care of myself this long. I should be able to also take care of someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And from there on, it was like, all right, here we go. I'm diving head in, man.
Yeah,
I'm diving
yeah,
head in.
yeah.
It was an amazing feeling.
Right.
And you know, I remember that feeling, and then I also remember the feeling of the night, well, when my child was born.
Yeah, that was the next question. Is that yeah.
Man,
You making my job real easy, man. But yeah, so moving on to that moment, like you see your child. Cause were you there? Were you in the room?
Yeah, I was in the room.
There you go. Yeah. It was it was a hospital.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And just being able to like experience that and feel that like I want to say something, more impactful than what's that like, but what's that like?
What's that like?
Yeah, like oh man, like
it was like a dream, man.
Yeah,
like it was kind of like a dream. Like even when I think back to it now, it seems more dreamlike than actually happening.
Wow, wow.
I remember, us going through it. Her being us being in the delivery room, and all of those things taking place, and then fast forward to like that night. I remember, it was just my son laying in like, I guess the little incubator thing that they have him in or whatever. And I'm just staring at him. And I just stared at him for like, it felt like hours, man.
Right.
And I could, I'm an artist, so I'm visual. So I kept, you don't know if you remember Nickelodeon back in the days, and they used to have what was it, I Dare You, or
Double Dare,
Double
the TV
Dare,
show?
Double Dare.
Okay, yeah.
You remember they used to get slimed?
Okay. Trying to figure out where you go with this, but go ahead.
I kept envisioning myself with this slow, like, ooze of stuff just slowly going, like covering my whole body.
Okay.
And it was love. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like,
okay. Yeah.
Like I'm as I'm staring at my child, I'm realizing that I'm falling in love with a complete stranger that I've never known, or that might not even be that nice of a person when they grow up. So I'm gonna do my best. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
that's so wow.
Yeah,
wow.
like I love the fuck out of this person right now.
That's amazing.
And what's crazy is that, like, I don't, this is gonna sound extreme when I say it, but and I'm sure Jay can attest.
I was about to say Jay said some pretty. I don't know if it's gonna stack up to the extremist stuff that's been said already. But go ahead.
But I think as a parent, I think you instantly become like this like, I mean, when you submit to that and you say, okay, I love my, I'm a parent. I'm in love with my child, my children. I think you instantly become, your love evolves and you become this like, this thing that loves this thing. But you and there's all type of positivity in that, of course. But you also become like this killer. In the sense of protection, because you instantly, like, if you never had anything that you would kill or die for that you know of,
right?
You know right that you would kill or die for this thing right here.
Yeah, and I think that's something that's I don't know. I think women have it too, but I don't know if they feel it the same. And I don't want to go too deep into that because I don't want to get in trouble. But
women go
I
crazy
feel like
for their kids.
Yeah. But I don't know if it's that sentiment is as understood, or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is.
Or it might be different. It might be different, right?
But I definitely I felt like saying that, and I've always felt that way, even without having to just being a man. Like when I have a kid, I'm have to be ready to kill somebody, because it might come to that, and 9 times out of 10 it'll never come to that. But
right.
If it does, I mean, at the drop of a hat, and that much of a transformation within a person, in that second while you're sitting there watching it and it's pouring over you, like you said, that's a great visual also. But yeah, that's amazing, man. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And so, has it affected your writing, your creating music at all?
I think that it definitely has affected me musically in the sense of um, making me want to push the gas and to be active in my artistry. I've been blessed to grow up around, you know, uh, parents that are very artistic. You know what I'm saying? All my
Right,
friends
right.
have children, but they also
Yeah.
have their art as well.
Right.
And I'm feeding off that tremendously.
That's huge.
Uh,
Yeah.
so as far as how it's affected my artistry, it's making me want to do it more and push it and make it like a solid like staple in my lifestyle because I want my son to see me doing things that I love.
Right,
I want him to
right.
get that
So
charge
important.
of energy early.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want him to be at rehearsals and me telling him to sit his ass down because we
Yeah.
gotta sing this song. You gotta be
Yeah.
quiet for a second. Like I want him to be a part of that.
Like the power in that. Like yesterday was my father's birthday. He passed away in 2012, but I was blessed to grow up in a household with my dad and having that that example and that strength to draw from, and that it's just so much about that situation that I'm grateful for, and it's the lack of that is so prevalent in our society, just because of all of the things systemically, and then the choices that have been made by people. When it comes to that, it's something that you can definitely see, and so. Just the fact of sitting here with two fathers who, putting their heart and soul into this whole fatherhood thing. I feel honored to be in y'all's presence, man. I appreciate both of you guys, and it's such a, you get the thanks. I was gonna say it's such a thankless position, but I mean you get the thanks and looking at your kids and seeing them succeed and seeing them be happy, but. I also, think you should get it by people looking at you in the face and saying thank you. So I want to say that to both of y'all, man, for
Thank you, David.
just the time and energy that knowing you both as well as I do, I know you all put into, raising productive parts of society, basically, because it's huge and it's made a world of difference in my life having somebody, like that. And so, and I see the difference, between myself and other people. And not saying anything, negative to, people who grew up in single parent households and things like that, but it's definitely, a difference. And so, and that balance, like you spoke about balance earlier, and that, is always helpful. And so, yeah, you guys are awesome. And I want to ask the last question that I usually ask. I can modify it a little bit because of your situation, because I usually ask people, to look back into their life and if they were able to speak to a younger version of themselves, and I would pick like an age, but I'm gonna say you're at some point going to be able to speak to a younger version of yourself as your son grows. So as he starts to come of age, as he becomes, well, I guess it would be different though. You think like it would be different what you would say to yourself and what you would say to your son? Do you?
I don't know.
You think it would?
I'll probably say the same thing.
Make sure he gets it right, because even something you may have missed or or may have heard but not taking it seriously, you might put more. So if you when you get this opportunity to speak to to your son at an age of understanding where you start imparting knowledge into him, have you thought about what those conversations would be like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like to the point that like sometimes I'll be in the car envisioning him being
Having it,
beside me,
having those
conversations.
Yeah.
So I guess what I would tell him, what I would tell my child is, my son is, be nice, be a nice person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Be patient with people, be considerate. But being nice isn't enough, you have to be aware as well. Also, I would tell I would tell my child to think big. You know, I think
Mm.
that was one of my biggest issues. That's what I would. That's one of the things I would told my younger self
Okay.
is to I got this line in the song. It says I'm surrounding every frame. You know,
Mm.
and it's like think like that, like surround the frame, like be bigger than the frame,
Mm-hmm.
and think big and don't be afraid to act big.
Mm.
And I had another one. I can't remember what it was though.
It's already powerful words,
But
Dad.
yeah,
But
awareness is a big deal.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And like I said, having that balance of being nice and thoughtful, but also being aware of your surroundings and not being afraid to think bigger
definitely,
than what's around you. That's a big deal.
definitely. Dope information. I appreciate you sharing that with us. Jay, you've been, I know you already know this dude so well. You feel like it's nothing you can really ask him. But did you have any questions or any observations about Jacob
Nah,
Soul?
just, what you got going on this Friday? So
Y'all thought you was going to do it, but
Well.
you gonna make him do it.
you put me on the spot. Like, let me pass the
Right,
buck.
right.
Put somebody else on the spot.
This Friday, I'll actually be performing at the Native Tongue open mic. It'll be my first performance in a while. That performance starts at
8
8
o'clock.
o'clock.
Yeah.
It'll be live on IG, New Human, IG,
Nubian human.
Nubian Human IG.
Correct.
There you.
Thank you.
No, it's cool.
And this the first Native Tongue we doing back live where we have people in the audience. People can come back in the spot. It's actually going to be across the hall in the Black Box Theater.
Okay.
It's not going to be in the actual store, but
So y'all can social distance.
Right, exactly. Because
Yeah,
I think we got limited 30 people can be in there.
Okay.
So yeah,
And you still be streaming though?
yeah, we definitely streaming on
Okay.
Nubian Humans
Great.
Instagram.
So since it's only 30 people, if you can't make it, check out the Instagram.
Yeah.
Definitely, so you can still partake because it's gonna be awesome. This dude is gonna be singing, so it's gonna be banana sandwich. Is the proper anyway, but the day before
Banana
that on
sandwich.
Thursday.
I don't like that.
Did you say hammock? No, that's not what I said at all. Anyway, but the day before that on Thursday, John Johnson, who you mentioned, is actually having a Zoom playback show.
Oh yeah.
It's July 30th. That's that Thursday at 6:30. It's a family-friendly event. They want the old, the young, and the in-between to come out. It's the Bridge Park, the 11th Street Bridge Park building, bridges across the river. That's the foundation that's putting it on. And so you can check out John Johnson's page. I'm gonna post the stuff on our page too about it. He asked me to shout it out, and I did just now.
Good job, Dave.
Yeah, shout out to John Johnson and all the efforts that he's been making, in his career to bring enlightenment and positivity into our communities. And, the whole collective, the SC3 collective that includes John Johnson, Jay Sun, Jacob Soul, Tamika Love Jones, Dev Duff. Who else?
We got ML who's coming with new music. People don't know ML. He's our comrade that's incarcerated, but we working on a project, from inside the walls. And it's, so Soul's project and ML's project I'm really looking forward to because it's adding a whole new element of energy and a charge that I feel is necessary, specifically in the times that we in. So, just providing art for people who are in a certain mental place and need that energy as I do. Music ain't just like entertainment for me. Like it helps my spirit and and healing and all of that. But yeah, ML, Taylor, who was our resident videographer, all of the musicians, Warren and Ajane, and my in-house producer out LA, Lex. It's a lot of people involved, but that's like the core. Milani Douglas, the poet and artivist, Yeah, man. So it's a lot of us, man. I know I'm probably missing somebody, but we definitely um, are all looking forward to continuing to put out art that is useful, you know,
dope.
for all of the shit we going through.
Definitely, definitely, and I think so. Had mentioned something about people kind of looking for that nowadays, and that's like you said. You said you've noticed that increase in kind of interest in your art and your team's art and influence in the community and in society. So and that's dope that everything comes full circle. They they coming it's coming around now. In a time where you guys are needed, and so this is what you're called for. So I think it's dope that you guys are answering the call and doing your thing, man. I can't wait to hear your project, brother. Yeah, so come on, man, get it done. What you doing?
Hurry up.
Yeah,
Chop.
so yeah, we want to thank you guys for checking out another Neighborish. I want to send another shout out
real quick.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
They just and speaking on SE3, and I think Soul mentioned earlier, like when we do projects, we actually treat them like small businesses.
Right,
You know what
right.
I'm saying? So these projects aren't just, they serve many purposes. And with that said, I released a project on July 9th called the Treasure Rap Tape, which is, kind of like our first step out there as opposed to producing and distributing art ourselves as like business owners. And, it's so like that's like the first project we've released with that concept in mind, where we're controlling the whole narrative of the project as opposed to like trying to quote unquote like get a deal or like partner with somebody else. So it's like with that said, it has been received well in the community. People have streamed it and downloaded, and it features Jacob Souls on there,
Hey.
Duff's on there, Moo Fresh is on there,
Yeah.
John Johnson's on there, and but it's the first project in a line of projects that we're attempting to control our own narrative and own everything. And even
That's
you
the move.
helped along with the project. You did my cover art
Oh,
for
I
my
did,
for my,
didn't I?
for my two
Hey,
singles.
Look at that.
Appreciate that.
Look at
But
what
yeah,
I
all
did.
that to say, my website, jasonslyrics.com. You can find all of our music there because the SE3 music page is tied into my website. And
Okay.
yeah, so just continuing to try to market and promote a Treasure Rap Tape, not just for the sake of promoting the project, but just getting in the rhythm of like that is a business.
Yeah.
It's like, so
yeah.
you're supporting like a black business
Yeah.
and the shit crank.
Yeah.
That's all I
It's
got
good
there.
music. It's
Yeah.
quality artistry.
Yeah.
So yeah, y'all definitely check it out. Yeah, man. So thank you guys for checking us out. I wanted to, what I was gonna say. I wanted to send another shout out to Fruitfit, to our
Fruitfit.
co-host. We love you, man. We can't wait to have you back in the building with
Yeah.
us. So keep doing what you're doing. Keep getting well. Yeah, we appreciate your input and your feminine energy, and we need it. So come on back. But thank you guys for checking us out today. It's been an awesome show. On behalf of myself, DC's native son, Jay's son, and our guest, the one and only Jacob Soul. Thank you guys for watching. We hope you enjoyed the show. We'll be back next week with more great content. And y'all have a great week. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.